on a night in the humble pitches of non-league football, long after the crowd had scattered and the floodlights dimmed. The story of Jamie Vardy was just beginning to etch itself into the fabric of the game. It is hard to believe, but at just 20 years old, this man was not gracing pristine academies or eyeing professional contracts. He was playing Sunday League football, often under the strict supervision of an ankle monitor. 5 years later, at 25, he was still far from the glamour, working full-time in a factory and turning out for Fleetwood Town in the 5th tier. Yet, with a speed that defies belief, a mere 3 years after that, at 28 years old, Jamie Vardy lifted the Premier League title, a testament to a journey so improbable, it stands almost unique in the annals of professional football. How did a man go from the very margins of the game to its undisputed pinnacle? And what did it cost everyone involved to witness such an extraordinary rise? If you enjoy stepping back into these football stories with me, feel free to like the video and subscribe for more documentaries like this. To understand such an astonishing ascent, we must first return to the beginning. Jamie Vardy was born in Sheffield in 1987 into a world that offered its share of early challenges. His father departed when Jamie was an infant, leaving his family to navigate life with considerable struggle. He grew up in the Hillsborough neighborhood of Sheffield, a place where football dreams are often forged, and Jamie harbored a particular one to play for his local club, Sheffield Wednesday, a historically significant football club deeply rooted in English tradition. That dream, for a brief time, felt within his grasp when Sheffield Wednesday offered him an opportunity as a youth player. However, the dream was abruptly snatched away. At the tender age of 16, Sheffield Wednesday released Vardy from their youth academy. The reason given was a concern about his physical size. He was deemed too small. This dismissal plunged him into significant disappointment, causing him to cease playing football entirely. He later reflected on that period, expressing the profound emptiness he felt, stating that everything he had ever wanted had just been snatched away and there was nothing to fill that huge void. He was lost. Ironically, a growth spurt would follow shortly after his release from Sheffield Wednesday, a cruel twist that only amplified his feeling that the club had simply not considered him good enough. This period was marked by more than just footballing heartache. Around this time, Vardy frequently found himself in arguments with his mother and stepfather. These familial disputes eventually prompted him to move out of the family home, striking out on his own. To support himself financially, he began working various odd jobs, doing whatever he could to make ends meet. After a few months away from structured football, the pull of the game remained strong, and he rejoined a local pub team, a familiar starting point for many working-class players. It was through a friend that Vardy found his way back into organised football, gaining entry to Stocksbridge Park Steels. This club operated in the 8th tier of English football, a world away from the professional game. Stocksbridge, typical of non-league clubs at that level, had a small, dedicated fan base, reportedly just over 100 supporters. The football itself in the 8th tier was characterized by its raw, physically demanding nature, often involving what were described as career-ending two-footed tackles. Despite its humble status, Stocksbridge, like many smaller English clubs, participated in the preliminary rounds of the FA Cup, a detail that would later enable Vardy to achieve a unique career record, having played in every round of the competition. Stocksbridge Park Steels provided Vardy with his very first football contract, albeit a modest one, paying him £30 per week. This sum was clearly insufficient to cover his living expenses, as Vardy himself remarked that it barely paid for a night out in Sheffield. To supplement his football earnings, he worked in a local carbon fiber factory, a physically demanding job. His factory work involved tasks such as lifting heavy items into hot ovens, a repetitive strain that began to cause him back pain, highlighting the immense physical toll of his dual life. Life in Sheffield outside of football and work brought another major challenge. Vardy became involved in an altercation while with a friend who wore a hearing aid after other men mocked his friend. This incident led to Vardy being arrested and subsequently charged with assault for his involvement in the fight. As a result of the court order, Vardy was mandated to wear an ankle monitor, a device that imposed a strict nighttime curfew, restricting him from leaving his house after 6 o'clock in the evening. This curfew made playing football for Stocksbridge Park Steels significantly challenging. In some matches, Vardy was only able to play the first half, requiring him to leave games early, sometimes by jumping over a fence into a waiting car to meet his 6 o'clock curfew. In an unexpected turn, Vardy claimed that the ankle monitor's robust construction inadvertently protected him from severe tackles during games, a small silver lining to a difficult situation. The assault charge and subsequent criminal record had an unexpected, almost paradoxical impact on his career trajectory, as it closed some doors, but, in hindsight, perhaps opened others. Shortly after this period, feeling frustrated and at a crossroads, Vardy considered quitting football altogether to join the British Army, seeking a new path. However, during the army recruitment process, Vardy was required to disclose his criminal record. His application to join the army was denied due to this record, a rejection he later viewed as a fortunate turn of events as it kept him on the football pitch. Despite these personal challenges, Vardy's performances began to attract attention, notably in one particular FA Cup game where Stocksbridge lost 7-2. Despite the team's heavy loss, Vardy was recognised as the standout player on the pitch. He was described as exceptionally fit, bullish in his approach, and brimming with confidence in his playing style, even at this lower level. Over 115 appearances for Stocksbridge Park Steels, Vardy scored a remarkable 55 goals. His goal-scoring contributions were instrumental in helping Stocksbridge achieve promotion, further showcasing his talent. Following his success at Stocksbridge, several clubs expressed interest in signing Vardy. Halifax Town, a larger club operating in the same league, was among the interested parties. Halifax's manager, however, received warnings against signing Vardy, with concerns raised about his bad reputation, his criminal record, and a perceived tendency to accumulate red cards. Despite these cautionary tales, Halifax Town proceeded to sign Vardy, disregarding the warnings, for a transfer fee of £15,000. At Halifax, Vardy continued to excel, scoring 25 goals during his tenure. His outstanding performance earned him the team's Player of the Season award. Furthermore, his contributions were vital in helping Halifax Town achieve promotion, marking another step up. Subsequently, Fleetwood Town acquired Vardy for a club record fee of £150,000, an amount 10 times what Halifax had paid. Fleetwood Town competed in the 5th tier of English football, representing a significant step up in Vardy's career, placing him just one league below the Professional Football League. Some Fleetwood Town players expressed unfamiliarity with Vardy upon his arrival, questioning the club's decision to invest such a substantial sum in him. Upon joining Fleetwood, Vardy was finally able to leave his factory job, allowing him to focus on football full-time for the very first time. This dedicated focus manifested in his physical condition, as he was noted as the fittest and fastest player on the Fleetwood team, a testament to his natural athleticism when fully unleashed. His aggressive playing style, combined with his relentless energy, earned him the nickname "The Cannon" among teammates and fans. Vardy occasionally engaged in mischievous behavior, injecting a playful, rebellious spirit into the dressing room, such as wrapping the physio's car in cling film as a birthday prank. On one occasion, after missing training, Vardy was required to perform a naked run in freezing temperatures as a punishment, a moment that highlighted the unique camaraderie and character of his team. His strong performances at Fleetwood naturally started attracting interest from larger football clubs, as his goal-scoring prowess could not be ignored. After scoring in one particular game, Vardy responded to abusive opposition fans on Facebook with his later famous phrase, "Chat get banged," an early glimpse into the fearless, defiant attitude that would define his career. Vardy continued his prolific goal-scoring form at Fleetwood, proving his worth repeatedly. Football League teams, including Championship side Blackpool, began submitting substantial bids for him, with Blackpool offering £750,000. Fleetwood Town, however, declined these bids, opting to retain their key striker, recognizing his immense value to their promotion ambitions. Vardy scored an impressive 31 goals for Fleetwood, leading them to promotion to the Football League, a truly historic achievement for the club and for him. At 25 years old, Leicester City, then a Championship side, submitted a £1 million bid for Vardy. This £1 million transfer fee established a new record for the highest amount ever paid for a non-league player, underscoring the remarkable nature of his journey. Vardy finally transitioned to the Football League at the age of 25, having spent his entire prior career in non-league football, an extraordinary trajectory. The Football League represented a significant professional advancement from non-league football, indicating a major career milestone and a clear indication that Jamie Vardy was no longer just a pub player, but a force to be reckoned with. Vardy's move to Leicester City marked a pivotal moment, but it wasn't an immediate success story. The jump from the 5th tier of English football to the Championship, a division renowned for its physical demands and relentless schedule, proved challenging. In his debut season with Leicester City, Vardy struggled to find his scoring rhythm, netting only 5 goals in 26 appearances. The adjustment was significant. He was no longer the undisputed star, but one among many talented professionals. His early performances drew criticism from some sections of the Leicester fan base, who questioned the hefty £1 million investment in a non-league player. This period of adaptation was tough for Vardy, testing his resilience and self-belief. However, the 2013-2014 season saw a dramatic turnaround. Under the guidance of manager Nigel Pearson, Vardy began to flourish. He adapted to the pace and intensity of the Championship, transforming into the relentless, high-pressing striker he would become famous for. His aggressive style, combined with blistering pace and a newfound clinical edge, made him a nightmare for defenders. He scored 16 goals in 37 league appearances, playing a crucial role in Leicester City's dominant Championship campaign, which saw them secure promotion to the Premier League as champions. This achievement, just 2 years after joining a Football League club for the first time, was a testament to his unwavering determination and rapid development. For Vardy, stepping onto a Premier League pitch was the realization of a dream that, for many years, had seemed utterly impossible. The Premier League, the pinnacle of English football, presented an even steeper challenge. Leicester City were widely tipped for relegation in their inaugural season back in the top flight. Vardy, now 27, was once again faced with doubts about his ability to perform at the highest level. While his first Premier League goal came against Manchester United, he finished the 2014-2015 season with only 5 league goals as Leicester battled for survival. The team endured a particularly difficult spell, finding themselves rooted to the bottom of the table for much of the season. At one point, with just 9 games remaining, they were 7 points adrift of safety, and the relegation seemed all but certain. The atmosphere was tense and the pressure immense. Yet, in a miraculous twist of fate that would later be dubbed the Great Escape, Leicester City orchestrated an incredible run of form, winning 7 of their last 9 matches to secure their Premier League status. Vardy was instrumental in this improbable survival, contributing vital goals and assists during this critical period. His tenacity and work ethic became a cornerstone of the team's fighting spirit. This escape from relegation, against all odds, proved to be a harbinger of even greater things to come. The 2015-2016 season began with little expectation for Leicester. Claudio Ranieri had replaced Nigel Pearson as manager, and many pundits once again predicted a relegation fight. However, what unfolded was one of the most astonishing stories in sporting history. Jamie Vardy, now 28, was at the heart of it all. He started the season in sensational form, scoring in 11 consecutive Premier League matches from August to November 2015, breaking Ruud van Nistelrooy's long-standing record of scoring in 10 consecutive games. This remarkable achievement cemented his place in Premier League folklore and propelled Leicester to the top of the table. His goals were not just numerous, but often spectacular and decisive. Vardy's relentless energy, intelligent movement, and clinical finishing were perfectly suited to Ranieri's counter-attacking style. He forged a formidable partnership with Riyad Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, creating a cohesive unit that defied every expectation. The team, affectionately known as the Foxes, captivated the world with their underdog story. Match after match, they confounded critics, displaying a fearless determination that saw them overcome traditional footballing giants. On May 2, 2016, a day that will forever be etched in football history, Leicester City were crowned Premier League champions. Jamie Vardy, the former factory worker, the Sunday League player with an ankle monitor, the rejected youth prospect, had lifted the most coveted trophy in English football. At 28 years old, just 3 years after making his debut in the Football League, he had completed an extraordinary ascent from the 9th tier of English football to Premier League dominance. His journey was, without a doubt, highly unusual in professional football. In an era dominated by academy products and multi-million-pound transfers of established international stars, Vardy represented a different path, one forged through grit, perseverance, and an unshakable belief in himself despite countless setbacks. He had not only overcome the odds, but had shattered the very notion of what was possible for a player rising through the non-league ranks. His story resonated globally, inspiring millions and becoming a testament to the idea that talent, when combined with relentless effort and an indomitable spirit, can truly conquer all. The boy from Sheffield, who once thought his footballing dream was dead, had not only revived it, but had taken it to unimaginable heights, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary journeys begin in the most unexpected places. Jamie Vardy's early days at Leicester City, the very place he would later become a legend, were anything but straightforward. His debut saw him find the net against Torquay United in the League Cup, a promising start that hinted at the talent to come. In his first 8 league matches for the Foxes, Vardy managed to register 3 goals and contribute 2 assists, showing flashes of the explosive attacker he would become. However, after that initial burst, Vardy experienced a significant and troubling decline in form, scoring only once more across the rest of that arduous season. His struggles were evident, leading to frequent omissions from the starting 11, often finding himself relegated to the bench. It is a curious twist of fate that during some of these moments, sharing the substitute bench alongside him was another young striker, Harry Kane, who also stood on the cusp of his own remarkable ascent in the game. This period became a major crisis of confidence for Vardy, a time when the weight of expectation began to crush his spirit. He faced a barrage of abuse from a section of fans on social media platforms, their frustration adding to his burgeoning self-doubt. The depth of his struggles was so profound that Vardy even contemplated abandoning his football career altogether, a thought that would send shivers down the spine of any fan who knows what came next. He openly described the experience as exceptionally tough, noting the inherent challenge of entering a dressing room filled with established senior professionals, a dynamic he had simply never encountered before. It was during this time that revelations about his lifestyle painted a clearer picture of his internal battle. Leicester's vice-chairman later disclosed that Vardy engaged in daily drinking, sometimes arriving at training sessions still under the influence of alcohol. A particularly telling moment came when he suffered a persistent dead leg injury that stubbornly refused to heal. When questioned by the club physio, Vardy confessed to a rather unusual habit, mixing Skittles candy with alcohol and consuming this concoction every single night. This regular and excessive consumption of alcohol was pinpointed as the precise reason his leg injury was not improving, as the alcohol significantly impacted his blood composition and the body's natural healing process. Vardy himself attributed this behavior to his difficulties in adjusting to not being the team's primary player, a feeling that drove him to frequent drinking and smoking with friends, often staying out until 4 o'clock in the morning. Despite these significant challenges and Vardy's wavering commitment, both head coach Nigel Pearson and his assistant Craig Shakespeare never lost faith in his innate talent. Even as Vardy wrestled with the idea of quitting football entirely to pursue a career as a nightclub representative, his coaches consistently affirmed their belief in his potential. These regular, reassuring conversations with his mentors proved instrumental in helping Vardy gradually regain his lost confidence. Consequently, he made a pivotal decision to stop drinking alcohol, dedicating the entire summer to an intense program designed to improve his physical fitness. The transformation was not just internal, it manifested in an unconventional but effective pre-game routine. Vardy developed a unique ritual that involved consuming 3 cans of Red Bull and a double espresso before each match. This distinctive routine undoubtedly contributed to the high-energy, relentless, and intense playing style that became his hallmark on the pitch. The combination of his dedicated fitness regimen and this new pre-game ritual yielded remarkable results, as Vardy went on to score 16 goals in the subsequent season. His outstanding contributions were recognized by his peers, who voted him the Players' Player of the Season. Crucially, that same season saw Leicester City secure promotion to the Premier League, a momentous achievement. Vardy himself described the promotion to the top flight as a dream come true, acknowledging the extraordinary journey from non-league football directly to the Premier League, a leap widely considered to be exceptionally challenging for any player. Initially, that step up to the Premier League did indeed appear to be a bridge too far for Vardy. But then, in September, he delivered a truly memorable performance against Manchester United, scoring 1 goal, assisting 2 others, and winning 2 crucial penalties. This sensational display against one of England's biggest clubs garnered widespread attention across the football world, signaling his arrival on the grandest stage. However, following that impressive outing against Manchester United, Vardy experienced another frustrating goal drought, not scoring a single Premier League goal again until March. During this difficult spell, Leicester City's overall performance declined significantly, and they plummeted precariously to the very bottom of the Premier League table. With only 9 games remaining in the season, the team faced what seemed like inevitable relegation, their prospects looking grim. Leicester struggled profoundly, failing to win any games until the very final match of March. Vardy finally broke his goal drought in that last game of March, even though Leicester ultimately lost that particular match by 4 goals to 3. However, Vardy's return to scoring coincided with a remarkable resurgence in the team's overall performance. Leicester City then proceeded to win their next 4 consecutive games, displaying an incredible fighting spirit. During this improbable run, Vardy scored a crucial last-minute winning goal against West Bromwich Albion, a moment of pure drama. He also netted the sole goal of the game against Burnley, a strike that propelled Leicester up to 17th position in the league, giving them a glimmer of hope. A subsequent loss against Chelsea reintroduced considerable pressure on the team, yet Leicester City rallied once more, winning 3 of their final 4 games to miraculously secure their Premier League status. This survival campaign became one of the most remarkable and celebrated in English football history. Leicester City achieved something unprecedented, becoming the first team ever to avoid relegation from the Premier League after having accumulated fewer than 20 points from their first 29 games. Vardy concluded that Premier League season with a modest yet significant tally of 5 goals. His strong form towards the end of that season, particularly during the Great Escape, led to an extraordinary and unforeseen career milestone. Just 3 seasons after playing in non-league football, Jamie Vardy received a coveted call-up to the England national team. England manager Roy Hodgson confirmed that he had been monitoring Vardy's progress intently since his time at Fleetwood Town, recognizing the raw talent beneath the surface. However, this incredible achievement brought with it renewed self-doubt for Vardy, who questioned his own adequacy for the England national team. He initially considered not joining up with the national squad, wrestling with his insecurities. Ultimately, Vardy decided to join the England team and found the experience genuinely enjoyable. He integrated well with the squad, even famously bestowing Harry Maguire with the affectionate nickname Slaphead. This experience with the national team further intensified Vardy's motivation to demonstrate his abilities on the grandest stages. Upon his return to Leicester that summer, however, the club was enveloped in internal turmoil. Manager Nigel Pearson, the man who had shown such unwavering belief in Vardy, was controversially sacked after the conclusion of the previous season. Without their key head coach, Leicester City were once again immediately considered overwhelming favourites for relegation by pundits and fans alike. The subsequent announcement of Claudio Ranieri as the new head coach further fueled these relegation predictions. Ranieri's previous role with the Greek national team had resulted in an embarrassing 0% win rate, doing little to inspire confidence. Leicester City also suffered a significant blow, losing their influential star player, Esteban Cambiasso, during the summer transfer window. The club then signed several lesser-known players, including the relatively unknown N'Golo Kante, moves that only served to lower expectations even further. Consequently, Ranieri was widely predicted to be the first manager sacked that season, with many believing his appointment was a mistake. The Guardian newspaper famously commented that Leicester might have made the wrong guy choice if their primary aim was to simply stay in the Premier League. Yet, against all odds and every single prediction, the subsequent season saw Jamie Vardy begin a truly astonishing and highly successful period in the Premier League, setting the stage for one of football's greatest fairy tales. The subsequent season saw Jamie Vardy begin a truly astonishing and highly successful period in the Premier League, setting the stage for one of football's greatest fairy tales. Despite initial skepticism surrounding Claudio Ranieri's appointment, the new manager quickly earned the players' respect, particularly Jamie Vardy's. Ranieri's approach was notably different from Pearson's, creating a more relaxed yet focused environment. He recognized Vardy's unique energy and talent, encouraging him to play to his strengths rather than conforming to a rigid system. Vardy started the 2015-16 season with an incredible burst of form, scoring in the opening game against Sunderland and continuing his prolific run. He went on an unprecedented streak, scoring in an astonishing 11 consecutive Premier League games. This remarkable achievement allowed him to break Ruud van Nistelrooy's long-standing record of scoring in 10 consecutive matches, which had been set for Manchester United in 2003. The record-breaking goal came, fittingly, against Manchester United on November 28, 2015, a moment that sent shockwaves through the football world and solidified Vardy's status as a top-tier striker. Ranieri, ever the diplomat, later commented on Vardy breaking the record, stating he was very happy for him and joked that he should thank the team for helping him achieve it. Vardy continued his consistent scoring until the end of the year, finishing 2015 with an impressive 15 Premier League goals, putting Leicester City in an unimaginable position at the top of the league table heading into the new year. As 2016 began, despite their incredible form, the media and football pundits still largely dismissed Leicester City's title chances, viewing their position as a temporary anomaly that would eventually correct itself. However, Leicester continued their relentless march through the league, displaying an unwavering determination that defied all expectations. Vardy was at the heart of this success, scoring crucial goals that kept their fairy tale alive. His stunning volley against Liverpool in February from 30 yards out was an early contender for goal of the season and exemplified the confidence and audaciousness that defined his play. He followed that up with 2 more goals against Sunderland, reaching 20 Premier League goals for the season, a testament to his incredible consistency and finishing ability. Leicester's lead at the top of the table began to widen, making it increasingly difficult for the doubters to maintain their narrative. Vardy's consistent goal contributions, combined with the team's tenacious defense and counter-attacking prowess, kept them several points clear of their wealthier rivals. Ranieri famously used the dilly-dong metaphor to describe the team's wake-up call to stay focused, and even promised his players pizza for every clean sheet, fostering a unique blend of discipline and camaraderie. However, the journey was not without its bumps. In April, Vardy received a red card against West Ham United and was consequently suspended for 2 crucial games. This moment could have derailed Leicester's title bid, but the team showed remarkable resilience. Riyad Mahrez stepped up during Vardy's absence, scoring vital goals and displaying the creativity that had made him one of the league's standout players. When Vardy returned, he immediately made his mark, scoring against Manchester United to help secure a 1-1 draw. This result put Leicester on the brink, meaning that if Tottenham Hotspur failed to win their next match against Chelsea, the title would be theirs. On May 2, 2016, Vardy, along with the rest of the Leicester squad, gathered at his house to watch the Tottenham vs Chelsea game. What unfolded was pure drama, as Chelsea, having been 2-0 down at half-time, fought back to draw 2-2. The final whistle confirmed the impossible. Leicester City were Premier League champions. The scenes of jubilation at Vardy's house, captured for posterity, showed raw, unfiltered emotion, epitomizing the disbelief and joy of a squad that had defied astronomical odds. Vardy described the moment as unbelievable, acknowledging the sheer improbability of their triumph. What had been a 5,000-to-1 shot at the start of the season had become a reality, an underdog story unmatched in modern football history. Vardy finished the season with 24 Premier League goals, a remarkable tally that firmly established him among the league's elite strikers. His incredible performances earned him widespread recognition, including the prestigious FWA, Football Writers Association, Footballer of the Year award. Ranieri himself paid tribute to Vardy, acknowledging his invaluable contribution to the team's success and praising his dedication and spirit. The entire team, from the defense to the attack, received accolades for their collective effort, but Vardy's meteoric rise from non-league to Premier League champion in just 4 seasons was truly the most compelling individual narrative. The Leicester City fairy tale, spearheaded by Jamie Vardy, transcended football, becoming a globally recognized story of perseverance, teamwork, and the triumph of the human spirit, echoing other great sporting underdog tales like the Miracle on Ice, but perhaps even more profound given the sustained nature of a league campaign. It was an achievement that not only etched Leicester City into footballing legend, but also cemented Jamie Vardy's place as one of the game's most inspirational figures. The 2015 to 2016 Premier League season began with Jamie Vardy hitting the net, scoring Leicester City's first goal in a resounding 4-2 victory against Sunderland. Following that initial burst, Vardy experienced a brief lull, failing to score in the subsequent matches against West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur. However, this momentary quietude was merely the prelude to something extraordinary. He resumed his goal-scoring run with a late penalty against Bournemouth, a moment that would unexpectedly mark the very genesis of an exceptional and historic scoring streak. From there, his confidence soared. Vardy found the back of the net against Aston Villa and then Stoke City, continuing his impressive form. He achieved his first Premier League double against Arsenal in a thrilling 5-2 encounter, a match Leicester ultimately lost, marking their initial defeat of the season. Following this loss, media outlets, including the respected BBC, speculated that Leicester's surprisingly strong start was inevitably coming to an end, with reports citing a leaky defense and a notion that their ruined luck would soon catch up to them. At this juncture, the odds of Leicester City actually winning the Premier League title were a staggering 5,000-to-1, a figure that almost defied belief. Despite the setback against Arsenal, Leicester quickly bounced back, winning their next game against Norwich City, with Vardy courageously scoring while playing with a broken wrist, showcasing his incredible dedication. He continued his prolific run with another brace against Southampton, bringing his total to 9 goals in just 9 games. His goal against Crystal Palace extended his remarkable scoring run to 8 consecutive Premier League games, a feat that placed him among only 3 players to have ever achieved such consistency in the league. This consistent goal scoring began to attract widespread attention, and speculation grew concerning how long this incredible individual run could possibly last. The streak faced a real test in the subsequent game against West Bromwich Albion, when Vardy sustained an injury and went down, leading to immediate concerns that his phenomenal scoring run would come to an abrupt end. After receiving lengthy treatment, Vardy bravely returned to the game and, against all odds, scored moments later with a 77th-minute goal, silencing any doubts about his resilience. He then converted a penalty against Watford, extending his run to 10 consecutive games and equaling the long-standing Premier League record set by Ruud van Nistelrooy. Vardy then surpassed that record by scoring in the very next game against Manchester United, making it an astonishing 11 consecutive Premier League games with a goal, a truly unprecedented achievement. His scoring streak ultimately reached 11 Premier League games, a new and iconic record that etched his name into the history books. Although his personal goal-scoring run finally ended in the following game, Leicester City secured a dominant 3-0 victory, a result that propelled them, against all expectations, to the very top of the Premier League table. The 2015-2016 season was quickly becoming regarded as one of the most improbable and captivating narratives in the entire history of football. Despite Leicester's leading position, external observers largely continued to expect their incredible form to dissipate, believing it was only a matter of time before they reverted to type. Lifelong Leicester fan Gary Lineker famously pledged to present Match of the Day in his underwear if Leicester won the league, expressing his personal belief in their zero chance of winning. A brief dip in form saw Leicester drop to second place a few games later, creating a flicker of doubt for some. However, they quickly regained the top spot in January and continued their relentless winning momentum, proving their doubters wrong at every turn. Suggestions emerged that Leicester's incredible season could be adapted into a movie, with the legendary manager Claudio Ranieri playfully proposing Robert De Niro to play Jamie Vardy, an idea that encapsulated the fairy tale nature of their journey. Around this incredible time, Vardy scored his first goal for the England national team in a thrilling 3-2 victory against Germany, a testament to his burgeoning international recognition. He also scored a highly notable volley against Liverpool, a goal widely acclaimed for its breathtaking skill and ingenuity, further showcasing his quality. Despite the mounting pressure as they approached the league title, Leicester maintained their composure and held their position at the very top of the table. In April, Vardy contributed 3 more crucial goals, each strike bringing them closer to the unthinkable. His aggressive temperament, however, led to him being sent off against Swansea City for diving, a moment of tension in their otherwise smooth run. Leicester continued to hold their lead until early May, when they secured a hard-fought draw with Manchester United, leaving them on the precipice of glory. The Premier League title was then confirmed for Leicester City if the second-place team did not win the subsequent match. That team, Tottenham Hotspur, played Chelsea in a pivotal London derby. Jamie Vardy hosted a watch party at his house, a gathering of players, families and staff, all anxiously glued to the television screen, hoping for a Chelsea victory. Tottenham Hotspur bottled it, as many would say, failing to defeat Chelsea, a result that miraculously confirmed Leicester City as Premier League champions. Leicester City completed the season, securing the Premier League title by a 10-point margin, a testament to their sustained excellence. Vardy finished the season with 24 goals and 6 assists, an individual contribution that was pivotal to their success. His exceptional performance earned him the Premier League Player of the Season award, recognizing his monumental impact. Vardy placed 8th in the voting for the prestigious Ballon d'Or, marking the highest ranking for an Englishman in 10 years, an incredible achievement. This Ballon d'Or ranking was particularly extraordinary for a player who had been playing amateur football just a few short years prior, highlighting his incredible ascent. Following their Premier League title, it was widely anticipated that larger clubs would attempt to sign Leicester City players eager to acquire talent from the improbable champions. Arsenal made a substantial offer of £22 million, triggering Vardy's release clause, a sum that many expected him to accept. However, Vardy chose to reject Arsenal's offer, famously citing Leicester's loyalty to him during his most challenging times, a decision that further endeared him to the club's faithful. In the season immediately following the Premier League win, Vardy continued to shine, scoring for Leicester in the Champions League quarter-final, an experience previously unimaginable for the club. He scored a truly remarkable goal that was widely compared to the legendary Dennis Bergkamp's skill and was deservedly named the BBC goal of the season. Leicester City subsequently sold other key players, including the instrumental Riyad Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, which inevitably led to a decline in their league performance. Claude Puel was later appointed as Leicester's head coach, a new chapter for the club. Puel controversially decided that Vardy was a problem for the team and, in a surprising move, opted to drop him from the squad, a decision that raised many eyebrows. This controversial decision angered Leicester fans, and Vardy's wife publicly liked social media posts criticizing Puel's tactics and team selections. By this point, Vardy was in his 30s, leading some pundits to suggest he was becoming too old for the relentless demands of the Premier League. Claude Puel was eventually sacked from his managerial position, and Brendan Rodgers was appointed as the new boss, immediately expressing his unwavering belief in Vardy's enduring abilities. At 33 years old, Vardy emphatically demonstrated he was not merely a one-season wonder by scoring 23 goals in the 2019-2020 season, once again proving his doubters wrong. This remarkable season included his momentous 100th Premier League goal, a significant personal milestone. Vardy was named the top scorer in the Premier League, deservedly winning the Golden Boot, an incredible feat of longevity. He became the oldest player to ever win the Premier League Golden Boot, highlighting his sustained performance and unmatched dedication to the game. The following year, Leicester City reached the FA Cup final, a competition Vardy had a uniquely personal connection to. Vardy became the first player in history to have played in every single round of the FA Cup competition, including the preliminary rounds from his non-league days at Stocksbridge. Leicester City won the FA Cup that season, adding another historic achievement to Vardy's already illustrious career, completing a domestic cup double with the league title. This FA Cup win was particularly significant for a player who had been involved in amateur football not long before, a full-circle moment of immense pride. As of the current time, Jamie Vardy, at 38 years old, continues to play for Leicester City, defying the expectations of age and proving his enduring class. His decision to remain with Leicester City for so many years reflects his unwavering loyalty to the club that supported him when others did not, a bond forged in the fires of an impossible dream. The narrative of Jamie Vardy's career, culminating in his enduring presence at Leicester City at 38, is not merely a tale of individual brilliance, but a testament to the club's remarkable journey and the unbreakable bond between player and team. His unwavering loyalty, forged in the fires of an impossible dream, speaks volumes of a man who never forgot where he came from or who believed in him when the world still doubted. The 2015-2016 Premier League season began with the characteristic Vardy bang. On August 8th, against Sunderland, he surged forward, a blur of motion, to score Leicester's first goal in a resounding 4-2 victory. It was a classic Vardy finish, energetic, opportunistic, and delivered with a relentless drive that would soon become his hallmark. This early strike, a header from a Riyad Mahrez cross, set the tone, but few then grasped the seismic shift it heralded. After a brief lull without goals against West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur, a late penalty against Bournemouth reignited his personal scoring quest, marking the unassuming genesis of an exceptional, record-breaking streak. The goals flowed, each one a brushstroke on the canvas of an emerging masterpiece. He netted against Aston Villa, then Stoke City, demonstrating his versatility and knack for finding the back of the net in crucial moments. The pivotal moment, however, arrived with his first Premier League double against Arsenal. This wasn't just any game, it was a thrilling, chaotic spectacle. Leicester traded blows with the Gunners, Vardy twice giving his side the lead with clinical finishes, only for Arsenal to ultimately secure a 5-2 victory, Leicester's first defeat of the season. Despite the loss, Vardy's performance was electric, showcasing his growing confidence and predatory instincts against one of the league's titans. The media, including the venerable BBC, were quick to interpret the loss as the inevitable end of Leicester's fairy tale start, citing a leaky defence and the impending expiry of their ruined luck. These pronouncements were often accompanied by the now legendary 5,000 to 1 odds placed on Leicester City winning the title, a figure so astronomical it bordered on satire. But Leicester and Vardy were not listening to the naysayers. They regrouped swiftly, securing a victory against Norwich City in their very next outing. Adding to the legend, Vardy played that game and scored with a broken wrist, a testament to his indomitable spirit and refusal to yield to pain. His resilience was breathtaking. Another brace followed against Southampton, propelling his goal tally to 9 in 9 games, a clear indication that something truly special was unfolding. When he found the net against Crystal Palace, extending his run to 8 consecutive Premier League games, he joined an elite cohort of only 3 players to have achieved such a feat. The whispers began to grow louder, transforming into excited speculation about how long this unprecedented run could last. The footballing world was gripped, watching Vardy with bated breath. The tension peaked in the subsequent game against West Bromwich Albion. Vardy, in full flight, sustained an injury and crumpled to the turf, sending a collective gasp across the stadium. For a moment, it seemed the magical streak was destined to end. Yet, after lengthy treatment, he rose, a warrior returning to the fray, and incredibly, scored moments later in the 77th minute. It was a goal born of sheer will, a symbol of Leicester's refusal to be broken. A penalty against Watford pushed his astonishing run to 10 consecutive games, drawing him level with Ruud van Nistelrooy as long-standing Premier League record. The world held its breath. Then came the moment that etched his name into the annals of Premier League history. Against Manchester United, in a hotly anticipated clash, Jamie Vardy surpassed Van Nistelrooy, scoring in his 11th consecutive Premier League game. The roar from the King Power Stadium was deafening, a mixture of ecstasy and disbelief, as the boy from Stocksbridge etched his name into the record books. The streak finally ended in the following game, but by then, Leicester City had secured a commanding 3-0 victory, propelling them to the very top of the Premier League table. The 2015-2016 season was no longer just a good run, it was quickly becoming regarded as one of the most improbable fairy tale stories in football history. Despite Leicester's audacious league position, external observers largely expected their incredible form to dissipate. They were dubbed plucky underdogs, destined to fall back to earth. Lifelong Leicester fan Gary Lineker famously encapsulated this disbelief, pledging to present match of the days in his underwear if Leicester won the league, expressing his absolute conviction in their zero chance of winning. A brief dip in form saw Leicester momentarily drop to second place a few games later, a moment many predicted would signal the beginning of their decline. However, they swiftly regained the top spot in January, riding a wave of renewed belief and continuing their winning momentum with a relentless spirit. The unprecedented nature of their campaign even spawned suggestions that Leicester's season could be adapted into a movie, with their charismatic manager, Claudio Ranieri, playfully proposing none other than Robert De Niro to play the part of Vardy, a testament to the larger-than-life quality of their story. Around this incredible period, Vardy's burgeoning reputation extended beyond the domestic stage. He scored his first goal for the England national team in a memorable 3-2 victory against Germany, a beautiful backheel flick that further cemented his place in the national consciousness. He also scored a truly remarkable goal against Liverpool, an audacious long-range volley that soared into the net, leaving the goalkeeper helpless and being widely acclaimed for its audacious skill and execution. As the season drew to a close, the pressure mounted to almost unbearable levels. Every game felt like a cup final, every tackle, every shot, magnified by the weight of expectation. Yet, Leicester, with Vardy leading the line, maintained their composure, holding their nerve and their position at the top. In April, Vardy contributed 3 more crucial goals, each one bringing them closer to destiny. However, his aggressive temperament, a core part of his competitive edge, also led to a moment of controversy when he was sent off against Swansea City for diving, a decision that briefly threatened to derail their charge. Leicester continued to hold their lead until early May when they drew with Manchester United. The Premier League title, almost within grasp, now hinged on one final, nail-biting scenario. If the second-place team, Tottenham Hotspur, failed to win their match against Chelsea, Leicester City would be crowned champions. The stage was set for an evening of unparalleled tension. Jamie Vardy, surrounded by his teammates, friends and family, hosted a watch party at his house for the Chelsea vs Tottenham match. What unfolded was a dramatic, emotionally charged spectacle. Tottenham Hotspur, seemingly succumbing to the immense pressure, bottled it, failing to defeat Chelsea. The final whistle blew, confirming the impossible. Leicester City were Premier League champions. The scenes of exultation at Vardy's home, beamed around the world, encapsulated the raw, unadulterated joy of an underdog story that defied all logic. Leicester City completed the season, securing the Premier League title by an incredible 10-point margin, a testament to their consistency and belief. Vardy, the spearhead of this impossible dream, finished the season with an astonishing 24 goals and 6 assists. His exceptional performance earned him the coveted Premier League Player of the Season award. His achievements were recognized globally, as he placed 8th in the voting for the Ballon d'Or, the highest ranking for an Englishman in 10 years, an extraordinary achievement for a player who, just a few years prior, had been plying his trade in amateur football. Following their Premier League title, it was widely anticipated that larger clubs, with their vast financial resources and established European pedigree, would attempt to sign Leicester City's star players. The vultures circled. Arsenal, a perennial Premier League giant, made a substantial offer of £22 million, triggering Vardy's release clause. The football world waited, fully expecting Vardy to seize the opportunity for a move to a bigger club. Yet, in a decision that further cemented his legend, Vardy chose to reject Arsenal's offer, famously citing Leicester's loyalty to him during his most challenging times, a bond he felt compelled to honor. His loyalty wasn't just a sentiment, it was a principle. In the season immediately following the Premier League triumph, Vardy proved his class on the grandest European stage, scoring for Leicester in the Champions League quarter-final. He produced a remarkable goal that was immediately compared to the iconic skill of Dennis Bergkamp, a testament to its artistry, and was rightfully named BBC Goal of the Season. However, as often happens with overperforming teams, Leicester City subsequently sold other key players, including the instrumental Riyad Mahrez and N'Golo Kante, leading to an inevitable decline in their league performance. A period of inconsistency followed, and Claude Puel was appointed as Leicester's head coach. Puel, in a controversial move that angered many fans, decided that Vardy was a problem for the team's new direction and opted to drop him from the squad. This decision was met with widespread dismay, and Vardy's wife, Rebecca, publicly liked social media posts criticizing Puel's tactics, underscoring the simmering discontent. By this point, Vardy was in his early 30s, leading some pundits to suggest that his explosive style was becoming unsustainable, and he was simply becoming too old for the rigors of the Premier League. However, Puel was eventually sacked from his managerial position, paving the way for Brendan Rodgers to be appointed as the new boss. Rodgers, immediately recognizing Vardy and enduring quality and importance to the club, expressed unwavering belief in his abilities. And Vardy, at 33 years old, emphatically demonstrated he was no one-season wonder by scoring an impressive 23 goals in the 2019-2020 season. This remarkable season included his 100th Premier League goal, a significant milestone. His scoring prowess earned him the coveted Premier League Golden Boot, making him the oldest player to win the award, a testament to his longevity and sustained, elite-level performance against the odds. The following year, Leicester City continued their resurgence, reaching the FA Cup final. In a poetic twist of fate, Vardy became the first player in history to have played in every single round of the FA Cup competition, a journey that began in the preliminary rounds during his semi-professional days at Stocksbridge. Leicester City went on to win the FA Cup that season, adding another historic achievement to Vardy's glittering career. For a player who had been involved in amateur football not long before, this FA Cup win was particularly significant, completing a full-circle moment of immense pride and vindication. As of the current time, Jamie Vardy, defying the expectations of age and proving his enduring class, continues to play for Leicester City at 38 years old. His decision to remain with the club that plucked him from obscurity, that nurtured his talent and stood by him when others did not, reflects an unwavering loyalty, a bond forged in the fires of an impossible dream and cemented through years of shared triumph and adversity. He is not just a player for Leicester, he is their heart, their history, and the living legend who continues to inspire.